Let's go ahead and bring in Jon Berger. There he is, college football, CBS.
Did you just
college
say
football.
Will Levis something about
mayo?
Put the mayo. What was that
eats,
joke,
he
Larry?
He eats
Come on,
mayo.
give it to us.
Will Levis, he eats mayo. Absolutely. He does.
You're on fire, man. Good to see you. Let's get into this stuff. This is important.
Absolutely. Good to see you, man. Let's start at the top with Bryce Young there. You look at him, 5'10" and 1/8, 204 pounds. Very important with the weight there. How much did he sort of calm the waters out there with his size, hand size, and everything else with those measurables for the former Heisman Trophy winner at Alabama?
Yeah, Larry, I need some help. Did Bryce Young shrink in the last, 6 months? I don't know. How about last year and the last 2 years? How about the last 3 years? Did he get smaller? This is an example, like a lot of weird things happen around the draft. And to me, this is just absurd. And look, I get it. If you're a GM, durability is one of those things you want in a quarterback, and you want a guy to be able to last 5 or 10 years in the league, and you do take big shots. But this whole thing about, walking up to the draft in the combine and everybody's questioning his size, I just think it's absurd, Larry. I mean, this guy can play football. This is just background noise to me. And I think from an NFL franchise perspective, look, you're either in or out on this guy. And whatever he showed up and whatever he weighed today is not going to make a difference in that. And I'll ask you a question, Larry. Like, can you imagine a draft crew from a franchise sitting in that room with the clock ticking, and you've got a chance to get Bryce Young? Do you think somebody's going to stand up in the room and go, you know what, guys? I could take him at 204 at number 1 or in the first round, but I can't do it at 190 pounds. I mean, it's absurd. It's silly. So I just think it's a lot of background noise. This guy deserves everything that he's earned. He's got 35 meaningful starts behind his belt. And the other thing, Larry, that a lot of people don't talk about, he's one of these quarterbacks, and he's pretty unique in his skill set. I mean, he can hit the perimeter, play out of the gun. But he's one of these guys that can come in on a Sunday, Larry, sit down with the coaches, and by the time he leaves at midnight, he's got the entire game plan in his head for the following Saturday, which means you can walk in on Monday and start making modifications to that. So he's got a high football IQ. I just think this whole thing about his weight and his size and his height and all those other kind of things, it's just a lot of background noise. He's going to land. I think he's going to be the first pick, maybe the second pick off the board. I think he's going to have a great career. Assuming he lands someplace, he's got a decent offensive line.
Absolutely. And you look at it, those 80 touchdowns the last couple of years on Alabama and all those big wins in SEC venues on the road and also down there in T-Town in Tuscaloosa. Let's talk about your risers and your fallers. Anthony Richardson, of course, getting all of the buzz out there, 6'4", 244, number 1 in height, weight, 40-yard dash, 4.43 there. The vertical was 40.5 inches, quarterback record there also. You look at his broad jump, 10 feet, 9 inches. Also, you look at CJ and also Will Levis. Who are your risers and your fallers out there, Jon?
Yeah, he's got this guy's different level. He's just next level. He's a freak athletically. I wasn't really sold on him coming out of the season, coming out of Florida, until I spent all day in front of the television watching this thing at 6'5", close to 240 pounds. Check that box, 4.4 speed. I mean, are you kidding me? That's a quarterback at 6'5", 240 that can outrun most defensive backs in the SEC. So I'm just going to pause for a minute, Larry, and let that marinate. Okay, he's grown as a quarterback. Is he raw? Yeah, sure he's raw. Is he Bryce Young? No. Is he C.J. Stroud? No. Is he a freak athletically? And if you want to, as a GM, take a little bit of a chance because he's got a lot of upside? Yeah, he is. So to me, his stock went up. I don't know how much it went up today, but I've never seen a performance at the quarterback position like he put on today. You look at his first 3 starts at Florida, kind of struggled. No touchdowns, 4 picks. His last 9 starts, 17 touchdowns, 5 picks. So he is growing as a quarterback. He's making better decisions. He's not just relying on all that speed, all that athleticism. I just think his stock rose today because of those freakish numbers that he put up on the board. I think in the right system, with the right coordinator, and the right level of patience, this guy's going to have a remarkable career in the NFL.
Yeah, he set those records, like we said, in the vertical and the broad jump there. Let's talk about your fallers. Who had their stock go down a little bit out there, Jon, in Indy?
Yeah, I mean, it was a couple of guys that I look at this situation, and I think people were looking at Max Duggan and Stetson Bennett because of both those players are kind of in that mid-tier situation at the quarterback. I thought Stetson Bennett looked phenomenal, especially on the deep ball. And I thought he outperformed at least throwing Max Duggan. So I was a little bit surprised for that. Max Duggan's had a phenomenal career at TCU, dual threat quarterback, big, mobile, can do all those things. So I'm not sure that I would categorize Max Duggan as it damaging him, but I thought in the deep balls, especially throwing the football, that he was outperformed by Stetson Bennett. And then Jalen Brooks, the wide receiver out of South Carolina, kind of rolls up today and runs a 4.7 40, and that's just not going to get a cut. It's very difficult to create space in the NFL as it is, but when you roll up and run a 4.7 40, so I don't think that did him any favors in terms of his 40 time today. I think Ronnie Bell from Michigan looked good. Bryce Ford-Wheaton, wide receiver out of West Virginia, running a 4.38. So there's a lot of guys whose stock went up, but a couple of guys that kind of stayed neutral and maybe digressed a little bit. I don't think at this situation, given those guys that digressed a little bit, I don't think they're high enough in the draft in terms of being a first or second rounder for it to impact them materially, though.
Yeah, and you look at Stetson Bennett, 5'11", so not much bigger than Bryce Young. He did throw the ball very accurately today, and surprisingly, had a very strong arm when it came to the velocity on his balls for the two-time defending national champs down there at Georgia. Jon Berger, CBS Sports college football analyst, man, we really appreciate it. Thank you, John.
See you, Larry. Take care, man.
Good stuff. Thank you. And for all of your pre-draft needs, get in the war room with our experts. Decorated GM Rick Spielman and draft expert, my guy, Ryan Wilson, offering up everything you need to know about the future of your franchise. Download and subscribe with the First Pick wherever you get your podcast.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.